Hello, hello, this is official name raider. I reckon it's time we look over some Pokemon nicknames on that first page of Google there, and we're gonna talk about them, review them, and stuff like that.
I didn't I didn't think of that intro anywhere past just the accent and that's it. And I was like, oh, Driffail, let's do a very bad clay. Underminer is actually one I have on my little list that I can't see because Discord popped up. But yes, Underminer is one I've seen, I believe, just in the past and other threads or whatever like that. And I was like, okay, let's write this down. This one's good. Yeah, I'm all for it, and I think it's a good choice. I still haven't seen that film yet. I played the very, 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 very bad GBA game, and it was very bad. Going off a little bit further though, Toph, we've seen this multiple times in the past before. Avatar-based nicknames. Toph is very ambiguous. You can throw it on to whoever you want. I don't think we have a ground in fighting yet, do we? And then Holy Moly, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Like, of all the things I was expecting to see, it wasn't this, and it could have been so much worse. Excadrill. I think these guys. I feel like we're trying a little bit too hard to make this Excalibur thing work, because we've seen it like Excalibur, Hexcalibur, Excadrill. What are you gonna do when it evolves? Mr. Rossetti was the other one I had written down, and pretty sure saw that in a previous thread as well. So yeah, 100% fine with that. This guy is going to fit it better than our other mole friend of Diglett Dugtrio. And although I would say Unova has a lot of very much obvious clone from Kanto Pokemon, I feel like this one's not very much reminiscent of Diglett at all. So there's that at least. But no, Rossetti's good. I'm totally 100% fine with it. So this actually unintentionally gave me a name for somebody else. So I recognize Mulgara. I remember Mulgara's song because that's in like Smash Brothers, and a lot of people just like Mulgara or whatever for whatever reason. But I couldn't remember what the fuck it looked like. And now that I look at this, Sandaconda. There you go. Thank you, Internet. You gave me an idea for a Pokemon that is not Excadrill and a much better choice. Fine Mulgara as a nickname, but it does not fit this idiot in the slightest. That's much, much, much better for Sandaconda because it's a little noodle thing that is relevant to the ground. You did it. Thanks for helping me out. Dig Dug, we've seen in the past before. I'm fine with it as a nickname. It's one of those, maybe I'll use it one day. It's a good game. It's simple, and my thing with Diglett is I felt like I didn't like it on Diglett or Dugtrio because it was already part of the name. But Excadrill doesn't have that problem, so there you go. Only gonna acknowledge Undertaker because I know that there's a pun involved, so I don't mind the idea of Undertaker as a nickname. I do think that there's gotta be something better than this though, because I don't know, just thinking about just the name Undertaker is going to be synonymous with wrestling. You're gonna think of the Undertaker, the dead man, and all that spooky stuff. So even if it's got an under in its name as a joke, I just don't think it's gonna fit Excadrill. That's all. I like the idea of it as a nickname. I like that you tried to make a pun, but it's not what I would go with. I'm going to assume this was an accident and they didn't mean to do it, but in case you didn't know, Drill Dozer's that little assist trophy from Smash Brothers. So if you care about that as a nickname, there's something for you. I've seen Juggernaut many a times before. I don't have a problem with it as a nickname. I don't know if I would say it fits Excadrill. Usually we see it for much bigger or more muscly Pokemon opposed to Little Metal Mole Boy. But I'm fine with this as a nickname if you want to look past that and do whatever the hell you want. So this is fun because he both mentions and doesn't mention something. So he doesn't mention Underminer. He doesn't mention that that's from Incredibles. And I feel like everyone is going to remember that name because that was probably one of the best little endings they could have gone with The Incredibles, was teasing a sequel and then never fucking delivering the sequel. Drilbur, I don't necessarily mind, but I like the Kill Bill reference. Kill Bill better with the bird Pokemon. I don't know, I just think that's better. I don't know, somehow Drilbur just doesn't quite do it for me. But then in Wolverine, he's like, yes, takes inspiration from X-Men. I'm like, okay. So he knows what an X-Men is, but doesn't know what Incredibles are? I don't know, I find it hard to believe. But at the same time, what if this guy really does just live under a rock and accidentally plagiarize everybody's ideas and isn't aware of it because he has no friends. And then Quake, Rubble, those are dumb. And then Tremors, I don't really care for, but what was it? Tremor, I think was the name of the... Alright, well it doesn't want to load, but yes, Tremor Mortal Kombat, so I was right. That is the thing. I forgot his name. I think at least Edward Scissorhands is worth talking about. It's one that I'm not necessarily surprised to see. I feel like we've seen it before in previous episodes. Like, my first instinct goes to, like, maybe Zangoose, but, you know, Excadrill could at least make sense. And then I've also seen Excadrill like 50 times, and I'm kind of tired of fucking looking at it, so I'm just gonna say it before somebody else puts it in the comments. I don't care. And, like, yes, we have other medication-based nicknames, but I feel like the big difference between those is, like, if we're gonna talk NyQuil for Musharna, Musharna's name doesn't reflect NyQuil. Psyduck Advil, it doesn't reflect Advil. You see the difference? Excadrill, Excedrin, like, it's a little closer. Now, is there other episodes where something like this might have been true? Yes, I'm not going to deny it. My memory's not the best, so, I don't know, it's just, it's a mood-by-mood thing. To me, it just doesn't hit it, but maybe in some other Pokemon or other example, it might have hit it better with me that day, but today I'm just like, I don't fucking care, but it's there, stop bothering me about it. Alternatively, because he says burrows, this isn't exactly the same thing, but in Mario Galaxy there is a mole boss fight, I think it's Gusty Garden, that has major burrows, and that would just barely fit. Yeah, so if you want to do Mario Galaxy, Major Burrows is an idea for you. Make sure you spell it B-U-R-R-O-W-S, because that's how it's spelled in game. Not like this. I've also seen Drilbur a bunch of times too, and I'm tired of that too, just because it's, I don't know, it just feels too basic, too on the nose, not interesting enough. I understand it, it's not exciting to me, it's not interesting to me. It's like, okay, cool, moving on. Everyone's like, okay, but did you see the drill bit? Yes, I saw the drill bit! I saw the drill bit, calm down, it's not that impressive, honey. We have better nicknames to talk about. I've also seen Tonka fucking 50 times! What's a Tonka? Is this what you're talking about? Because that'd be the only thing that makes sense. We haven't technically seen Monty Mole yet, but Monty Mole is fine as well. I'm all for it. Different alternative if you don't want to use Major Burrows. Same Mario enemy friend. I'll acknowledge Baraka, but truthfully, I have it set aside for the Mandibuzz episode because his name, or his animality turns into a vulture, so there's that. And then alternatively Bisharp, because I feel like Bisharp would be a better choice as more of a sword man than Excadrill. But it's worth saying that, hey, if you wanted to do that, there's an idea for you too. You can in fact fit Hans Moleman in there. If you want to make that joke, it'll fit. Bottles I also should have seen coming, and that's fine with me too. I wouldn't personally use it, but I completely understand why you would. It's worth, I guess, at least mentioning Sweeney Todd for the same vein as Edward Scissorhands, if that's your dig. I don't really have anything extra to say about it. Well, cool. I feel like you could probably tell the fatigue after me yelling about Tonka and other things I've seen 50 times. But we've reached the bottom. We found a lot of nicknames. And the spreadsheet actually does have some shit on it. Clay, yeah, Clay's his thing. And I realize that's probably how I should have, like, introed the episode, because I didn't actually say today we're going to talk about Drilbur and Excadrill. So I could have been like, today we're going to talk about my favorite Pokemon, or something like that. I could have done that. That's it. That's not even one worth talking about. I'd get rid of this. So, comment suggestions first before I scoot my ass over to my laptop and look at what that says. First, we have more Godzilla, Kumanga. I don't really have anything to say about that, but we've seen plenty of Godzilla-based nicknames before, and a lot of the Godzilla names are kind of crazy. Alright, I knew I saved this one for a reason, and I don't really know what a Grunbeld is or anything, but, you know, just pulling up on Google has some results, so if this means anything to you, there's an idea for you, because, you know, not always about me. The ones that I thought were worthwhile, Monty Mole, Major Burrows, Bottles the Mole, Mr. Rossetti, you could just call it Rossetti, you don't have to include the Mr. Rossetti by itself is totally fine. You don't gotta whine and bitch and be like, Lamanja girl! Well, fuck off, just get rid of the Mr. and problem solved. And then Underminer, which again are all really good choices. I didn't have a personal choice before this, but out of these, I mean, there's a fair bit. Holy Moly was another one we saw very early on. I didn't expect to find a huge amount, and like I know this Pokemon's decently popular thanks to competitive, but I've also never really been crazy about it, just design-wise. But it's nice to say, hey, look at all these nicknames, look what we found, look what we accomplished today, and maybe we can help some poor fool out that's sadly Googling something and had the misfortune of stumbling across my video. So, any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. Texas!